Well, can you tell the difference between a mental health myth and fact? There are myths around mental health that can prevent people from reaching out for help.
And that's why we have Kent Lanning with us from the Mental Health Foundation of West Michigan, Be Nice, here to break down some of those myths.
Thank you for being here with us.
You're
We appreciate it. Before we break down those myths, let's just first have you talk about yourself. Tell us how you got involved with Be Nice, what you do there.
Awesome. So I'm the program director at Be Nice. We have a lot of different programs. Be Nice is our flagship action plan that we teach to K-12 and senior citizens. Anybody can use it. And I am so passionate about this program because I needed that information when I was younger in school. So that's how I started, was teaching young people to have open and honest conversations about mental health.
Okay. Yeah, and that conversation is so important. We've talked about this a number of times. You have to be open to the conversation. And one of the problems are some of these myths. For example, people will say, well, mental health issues can't affect me, and that would be a big myth.
That's a myth, yeah. So it can affect anyone, and there's a lot of varying factors that could increase somebody's risk, like biologic factors. It could be risk factors like trauma. It could be the way that your brain is made. So a lot of different things can happen, but anyone can experience a mental health challenge or what could be diagnosed as an illness at any age.
Okay, Kat, another one is someone with a mental illness can shake it off and get over it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different times that we might experience this myth. So sometimes we say teenagers are just moody. That's typically how they are, but it's important if I see something that's affecting someone in their ability to do the things that they love to do, interact with the people that they love to interact with, and do the typical things that a person in that community would do, then it's important to have a conversation. So that's the same thing as different types of environments, where I just was doing a presentation at a construction agency, and they have heard this common myth that there's no room for feelings in construction.
Yeah.
So they're starting that conversation about having conversations about mental health at work, because that's where we spend a lot of our time. So that's exciting.
Yeah, and it's also probably a cause of some mental health strains for some people in the workplace. Here's another one. Only people with a major trauma develop mental illness.
Yeah, and sometimes I might be looking at what's going on with this person or myself to cause this change in my mental health. What happened, right? So someone doesn't have to experience a trauma, and we need to remember that what can technically be trauma is different for everyone. So it's important to open that conversation, not with what happened to make this happen, but what are our next steps so that you can feel better, because anybody could experience it, even if they have a lot of protective factors in their life.
This next one, Kat, I think a lot of people kind of say this, especially guys, right? They think they're supposed to be tough, right? And they can't be weak. Mental illness is a sign of weakness.
Yeah, so it has nothing to do with how strong I am, my upbringing, you know, those can be risk factors and protective factors both. So the coolest thing is working with a mental health professional to have those open and honest conversations, because it definitely is not a weakness, and we know that 1 in 5 of us will experience a mental health challenge and a mental illness in our lifetime. So that doesn't mean that 1 in 5 of us are weak, right? We're strong, we're resilient, and we can recover.
When somebody is faced with a loved one, for example, that may be experiencing some mental health issue, and they say, well, there's nothing I can do. I can't do anything for that person that's having that issue. That's a myth.
That's a myth, because we know that the opposite is true. Studies have shown us, and this is especially true for young people, if I have that one person I can tell anything to, it's a protective factor. So I can have a conversation with someone and they will be non-judgmental about my mental health. So that tells us that families just having conversations, being supportive, getting on that team of management and treatment and support is something that will help someone get better. So people who have those in their lives, family members, chosen family, support systems, friends that accept, understand, and help get on their team, we like to say, can help someone recover faster.
All right, Kate with Be Nice, thank you so much for being here with us. This is really helpful. And if you notice changes in your mental health or in someone you care about, don't wait, take action. Go to benice.org.